All right, marvelous mood makeovers. What sometimes is the only difference between a good day and a bad day? Often it's just our mood. And that sounds kind of simplistic, but in a way that's really good because things happen. Clouds block the sun, money comes and goes, relationship and work challenges face us each day. But through all of this, if we have a good mood, then life is more bearable, more peaceful, and more joyful. In this presentation tonight, we're going to discover how self-control, diet, and gut health can bring sunshine into your life even on cloudy days. So what is self-control? Self-control is our ability to modify and govern our most common response tendencies, which helps us in restraining our undesirable behaviors and also aids in the pursuit of long-term goals. So let's just think back again to that first line. It's our ability to modify and govern our most common response tendencies. And while self-control has often been related to positive outcomes such as higher academic achievement and better health, recent insights have often shown that people who consistently display self-control have greater life satisfaction and happiness. Viktor Frankl, who was a psychiatrist who was also a Holocaust survivor, says that forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess, except one thing, your freedom to choose how you will respond to a situation. So responding to a situation, choosing how we're going to do that involves proactive thinking. We have to take an active approach to the situation. We need to be considering our options and deciding who do we want to be? How are we going to talk to ourselves about this situation? And how do I want to present myself to others? Having self-control to choose our response in a situation gives us meaning in life because our well-considered thoughts, words, and actions reflect our highest ideals and values. With this mindset of difficulties can become opportunities. I want to tell you a little story. Years ago, I was out in California walking on a trail by myself, and I wasn't real familiar with the trail. I realized after a while that I was lost. And when I looked up on the hill, I noticed there was another trail and thought that was probably the trail that I needed to be on. But the only problem was between me and the trail was a hill full of thorny vines. And I was not dressed to go plowing through a bunch of thorny vines. So I carefully looked at the vines and placed my foot where I thought the vines could support my weight. And so I used those thorny vines as a ladder to climb up the hill and to help me get back on the right track again. So practicing self-control will help us to view things in their best light, and that will open the door for us in a way that complaining and hopeless thinking could never achieve. Dr. Eldon Chalmers says another way that we can improve our mood and increase our serotonin is to every day choose to do something that you don't enjoy doing. When we do that, we can achieve happiness because self-control breeds happiness and happiness breeds self-control. So this is a wonderful cycle to step into. Happiness to self-control, self-control to happiness. Now let's talk a little bit about dietary choices that can affect our mood. Sometimes people wake up in the morning feeling unrefreshed and rather grumpy. And so they think the logical solution would be to have a cup of coffee. But coffee is a stimulant and it makes us feel like we're ready to run the race, but can we cheerfully finish the race? Caffeine is a stimulant, not nourishment. It's not fuel. And so using caffeine in that way is like beating a starving person to work harder rather than giving them some nutritious food. Caffeine is an interesting fellow because it lifts us up and then it throws us down by lowering our threshold for irritability and anger. Regular use of caffeine lowers our happy chemical serotonin and it interferes with our brain chemical GABA, which is used or helps us to stay calm and focused under stress. So the truly logical solution would be to get to bed early and early enough so that you can wake up refreshed and in time to get a nutritious breakfast. Rest and good fuel can do wonders for your mood. But what is nutritious food for our mood? Well, inadequate folate can have a negative impact on our mood. And folate is found in dark green leafy vegetables and beans. So we want to make sure we're getting enough folate. If our B12 levels are low, it can have a negative effect on our brain. And if our vitamin D levels are low, that can contribute to depression. So it's not a bad idea when we get our yearly physicals to get our vitamin B12 and our vitamin D levels checked by our primary care practitioner. Another thing that's very helpful are omega-3 fats, and we can get those in chia seed, ground flax seed. If you don't grind it, it'll go right through without being absorbed. So grind the flax seed and walnuts. Omega-3 fats help to reduce our risk for depression and it protects the brain from inflammation. Now, inflammation is a hot topic today because it's the foundation of many chronic diseases. But inflammation also fuels depression, and depression drives inflammation. So there's a vicious cycle. One way to help fight inflammation is to eat whole, unrefined plant foods because they have a lot of anti-inflammatory compounds in them. But egg yolks and meat are high in arachidonic acid, and arachidonic acid in excessive amounts promotes inflammation. One study found that omnivores, people who eat kind of the standard American diet of meat, potato, vegetables, they get 9 times more arachidonic acid than a vegetarian does. So I say pass the greens, the beans, and the berries. And while we're talking about beans, another amazing thing about beans is the fiber as well as the protein. Now, fiber does help us to have regular bowel habits, which is a wonderful thing, but fiber also feeds the friendly bacteria in our gut. So let's talk a little bit about gut health. In our gut, we have beneficial bacteria that make anti-inflammatory compounds that benefit our brain and our mental health. Just 10 days on a high fiber diet can get your good bacteria in your gut purring. So it might not be a bad idea to put some lentil soup on your menu for tomorrow. The gut brain connection is a hot topic right now because gut health can determine how many new brain cells you produce and how well nourished and protected those brain cells are. Our gut has beneficial and harmful bacteria in it. Some of the bacteria produce byproducts that are detrimental for our brain and our mood, but others produce a chemical called serotonin, which is our happy chemical that will help us to have a positive outlook and more self-control. Some interesting research has been done that has found that gut health in rodents affects the myelin content in their brain. Now, myelin is the sheaths on the axons of the nerves that help to conduct the electrical impulses. Myelin thinning is seen in multiple sclerosis, social isolation, and in depression. A study revealed that a beneficial change in activity in myelin genes and myelin content was associated with improved gut health. So we've already discussed ways that we can improve our gut health. So as a reminder, eat whole foods with that natural God-given fiber that is in them to help enhance your good gut bacteria. This whole idea of the gut-brain connection is not really a new thing. Back in the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah wrote, "Behold, O Lord, I am in distress. My bowels are troubled. My heart is turned within me." So even thousands of years ago, people understood that mental distress and troubled bowels were intimately connected. And that might be why the Apostle Paul wrote, "Put on bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering." Now, I don't have time tonight to discuss the benefits of exercise, sunlight, and adequate sleep to enhance our mood, but let's just suffice to say that outdoor activities like walking and gardening and approximately 8 hours of sleep a night can help you make a decision to have a good day every day. And now the choice is yours. You've got some tools for a brighter day. And we can be like the person who has a little fender bender and grumbles and complains about it for the next few hours. Or we have a choice to be like the person who rolls their car 3 times and jumps out and says, "Ain't I lucky?" We have options. We can choose to let our highest values be seen in the way we respond to life. And we can help ourselves by eating foods and vitamins that strengthen our brain, and eat a high fiber diet that improves the gut brain connection and health. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Who would want anything else other than excellent brain health and a good mood, right? So now you have the keys for a better tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Leslie, can you share those slides with us? Because I'm on the phone, I can't see them.
Yes, you know what? I will go ahead and I'll send the link for the recording.
Okay, great.
Okay. Also, in your emails, you received an evaluation form. And I put my instructor's email on there as well as mine, but she said for us to just send them in. So if you send them to me, when I get an evaluation form, I will go ahead and send it to my instructor, and then I will send you the 4 recipes that I put together as a thank you gift. And these are recipes that will be very beneficial for your brain health. So thank you so much for participating tonight. I really appreciated you being here. God bless you.
Thanks. Leslie, can we send these to you tomorrow since we're traveling right now?
Yes, absolutely. Anytime in the next day or so would be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. God bless. Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, Leslie.
Bye-bye.